There we go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Free American Hour. I'm your host, Clay Douglas. My guest today will be Jesse Ventura, and I'm bringing him up in just a few minutes here, but I want to tell you about his book first. I think this is an amazing thing here that he's done this book. It's called 63 Documents the Government Doesn't Want You to Read. A lot of these I've covered in the last 20 years. Some that possibly he wasn't even aware of, like Operation Watchtower, that's also available in my book, Mystery Babylon. Now, folks, you can order both of these from the Free American. I will pick up Jesse's book. I will have that available to you. And I want to tell you a little bit about it. Now, 63 documents. I'll give you a little bit of samples. Starts out with the CIA's Secret Assassination Manual. The U.S. assassination plots against foreign leaders. U.S. Public Health Service exposed Guatemalan prostitutes, prisoners, soldiers to sexually transmitted disease. The CIA Project Artichoke and MK Ultra. Operation Northwoods. Kennedy's plan to withdraw troops from Vietnam. What really happened at the Gulf of Tonkin, U.S. capabilities in biological warfare. He also goes in and talks about putting war criminals to work for America. Now, what Jesse has done with this book is document it all. Documented all. He's put copies of the government information in there. And pretty much everything he says in this book backs up what I've been telling you on the Free American for the last 20 years. The official line was, this is chapter 10. The official line was that in August 1964, the North Vietnamese twice attacked U.S. ships in the Gulf of Tonkin. That was the incident that led to Congress passing the Tonkin Gulf Resolution and President Johnson's dramatic buildup of our forces, as it turns out, according to top-secret documents finally released by the National Security Agency in 2005, the second attack never happened. Someone in signals intelligence skewered the data to make it look that way. So some 58,000 of our generations, and I'm the same, right in the same category. In 64, I was 17 years old and volunteered for Vietnam, for the Special Forces. Jesse says here that 58,000 of our generation were killed in Vietnam, and no telling how many Vietnamese, probably over 1 million, but who knows. Again, all based upon fraudulence. How can our government have any credibility whatsoever when it's always caught in these major lies? An article in Naval History, a magazine published by the U.S. Naval Institute, revealed the story in 1999, Operation Plan 34, a highly classified program of covert attacks against North Vietnam, including raids on 2 offshore islands that forced their one and only retaliation against the USS Maddox. As far back as 1972, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee was pushing the NSA to release what its files contained on the Gulf of Tonkin. They stonewalled even as late as 2004 when a Freedom of Information Act request pushed for it. According to the New York Times, high-level officials at the NASA were fearful that declassification might prompt uncomfortable comparisons with the flawed intelligence used to justify the war in Iraq. Oh, really? Now, Jesse's also we're going to ask him to talk about this whole Wikileaks thing. This is what the interview with Piers Anthony was. Well, you know, should we just let this guy go, Bradley Manning, because well, didn't he give away classified information? Didn't he? No, he exposed a murder. He turned in evidence to the American people about a murder to keep it from being covered up. But Jesse says the same officials who are panic-stricken about WikiLeaks revelations, leaks of information that every citizen in a democracy should be able to access, are front and center in the documents that Jesse Ventura presents here. He proves that we've been duped into wars we shouldn't be fighting, lied to about intelligence, fed hogwash about terrorism, and tricked into losing more and more of our civil liberties. Folks, when they started demonizing me for starting the militias after what happened at Waco, they also included my magazine to try to make it sound like the Free American was some right-wing extremist organization. Not true. It's not. And I've revealed all of the stuff that he is telling you here. Got it in my book, Mystery Babylon. And I think the real questions are what they're doing. There are an astounding, he says here, he goes on to say here. Oh, by the way, the point I was going to make here, when they started demonizing me for being in the militia, every American between the ages of 18 and 45 are in the militia by U.S. code. The governor can call all of you guys up. When I started the militia in New Mexico, it was in my governor's office. It was in my living room with my governor. And what that did, when they tried to make me into a right-wing extremist, into a terrorist, into a homegrown terrorist, into whatever, they were trying to make you that way too. And that's what's happening with the Marine that was shot here by a SWAT team. Why? Because he might have had a little pot in the bedroom. Oh, well, maybe he was doing home invasion robbery. Well, he had a police uniform. He had a friggin' border patrol cap. We wear those around here, scared the illegals out of our way at McDonald's. Jesus. Okay. What are we doing here? Okay. We're still recording. Alright. Got 7 minutes here. What time we got here? 49 minutes. I got 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes about bring Jesse. Now, what he talks about, the CIA's guide to assassination, fake terrorist attacks planned by the U.S., military experiments on the soldiers. I want to ask him about Agent Orange. I got a lot of my brothers here that got sprayed with Agent Orange that are still debilitated, still in and out of the VA hospitals over there. I want to know about that. And my belief, I think they poisoned our own soldiers with the Agent Orange. They poisoned our own soldiers with the depleted uranium. They don't want healthy, well-trained, combat-hardened troops coming back and seeing what a sham this is our country's been made into. Democracy in America has been undermined from within. It's been going on for a long time. It's getting worse. Not only that, but we're being forced to fund the deception. Tax dollars have paid for mind control experience, staged attacks to draw us into war, for drug running, extraordinary rendition of detainees. This may seem unbelievable, but the actual documents prove otherwise. It's time to wake up and start demanding accountability. Let's never forget the words of Patrick Henry: the liberties of a people never were nor ever will be secure when the transactions of their rulers may be concealed from them. In this book, Jesse Ventura implores all Americans to challenge unnecessary secrecy in the hope that government leaders will show greater ethical consideration in the future if we remove their mask today. Jesse Ventura is a former independent governor of Minnesota. He's also a former U.S. Navy SEAL, professional wrestler, movie actor, visiting fellow at Harvard Kennedy School of Government, and the New York Times best-selling author of 5 books, including American Conspiracies, Don't Start the Revolution Without Me. He's currently the host and executive producer of True TV's Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. Now, Dick Russell wrote the book with him, and he's an award-winning author. He collaborated with Jesse on his most recent bestsellers, Don't Start the Revolution Without Me and American Conspiracies. Okay, let's see what we can get here. Okay, got a few more minutes to wait. 35 minutes. Okay, 45 minutes. I got 5 more minutes waiting here. Let's see what's going on in the chat rooms here. Okay. Nah, I'm not taking requests here, but I will play one more song and then we'll bring Jesse up. See if I can do that. No, let me talk about the book. I don't want to listen to any music here. Some things I want to putting war criminals to work for America. If you believe in things like making a pact with the devil, you might say that our intelligence agencies did that at the end of World War II. That's when we started giving many of Hitler's top henchmen not only sanctuary in our country, but putting these same Nazis to work for us. The Cold War with the Soviet Union was beginning, and the excuse was that we needed every bit of expertise, scientific and otherwise, we could get. Jesse says, it seems to me that the Cold War was staged so weapons manufacturers and others could make money off of it. Bingo. Otherwise, how did we get from being allies with the Russians all through the war to becoming their bitter enemies overnight? Fletcher Prouty once said, nothing happens, everything is planned. He says, I find it outrageous that some of the leading Nazis were brought over here because it was apparently more important to fight the Cold War than to hold them responsible for what they had done. I don't understand how these people making the decisions look only at the big picture and how forget about collateral damage underneath. There's absolutely sure no war, crimes, or atrocities had been committed fine and dandy, but there should have been a thorough vetting done by this country, not secretly, but in public, so the American people know which Nazis were coming and why. The Justice Department's Special Office of Special Investigation put together a massive 600-page report on that in 2006. Now, we covered this years ago in Gestapo Chief because this was written by Gregory Douglas, and he documented how the chief Heinrich Mueller, Heinrich Mueller, I wonder if he could have possibly been the father of another Mueller, possibly. And Jesse goes on to talk about Homeland Security's cybersecurity agreement with the Pentagon. Okay, this is what's happening here. Now, hang on. Okay. What do we got here? Alright, let's try this. Nope, his line's still busy. This, last October, and here's what disturbed me about this. Last October, he says, Chapter 42, Homeland Security, DHS, and the Defense Department reached an agreement concerning cybersecurity, whereby they're planning to synchronize their efforts. We're building a new framework between our departments to enhance operational coordination and joint program planning. DHS Secretary Janet Napolitano and DoD Secretary Robert Gates said in a joint statement. In December, the United Nations was asked to consider global standards for policing the Internet, specifically in reaction to things like Wikileaks. Now, the Commerce Department is looking to create an Internet ID under the label of National Strategy for the Trusted Identities in Cyberspace. And folks, I've been warning you about this for years. They're going to go after the Internet. It's a double-edged sword to them. They can track us, they can follow us, they can put their little plants in Facebook and all that. They can keep track with what we know. They can keep track of people like me. They can block people like me. And my website's been taken down twice in the last week because I'm getting information out. I'm getting information out there. Now, let me see here. Okay. I don't care whether he stays or not. I don't care what CIA agents, FBI agents are in there. I hope there's a few here. You know, we're talking to governors, we're talking to officers, we're talking to generals, we're talking to a lot of people, and we're talking to the American people. And we don't have any secrets. We're not doing anything illegal. We're not the rebels here, folks. We are simply fighting for the Constitution. How about if I tell you just to kiss my ass? First of all, you're not a CIA agent. CIA agents don't advertise. Second of all, you can't spell you, so you're a dumb shit. So kick him out. He's an idiot. Thanks for proving that. God, they're so recognizable. I don't know. I just don't know. Jesse Ventura. Let's try him again here.
Hello?
Hello, Jesse. This is Clay Douglas.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Well, you can do a show. Now, we're not scheduled for another 5 minutes, but I just want to call and give you...
It's longer than that. According to my schedule, I'm not supposed to be scheduled till... what time we got here?
You should have 5 minutes until 9:30. 9:30 Central Time, 7:30 here.
All right, well, that's been added to my schedule. I don't know about it, so call me back in about 5 minutes. I'll be down on the other phone.
Call you on this phone. All right, I'll call you at this number.
Yeah, same number. Just call me back in 5 minutes.
You got it, sir.
All right.
Okay, 5 minutes. The cybersecurity, I think this is an attack, and there's also an attack on the veterans. We'll get Jesse's input on this veteran down here. supposedly on a drug charge, except he didn't have drugs. But he says, you know, that maybe this is all somehow to the good, but it makes me a bit queasy. Honestly, I see Homeland Security as our United States Gestapo, our federal police. It's that simple, people. Government can't allow anything to exist that it does not control. One time as governor asked my staff to think about something on their lunch break. Come back and tell me one thing in your life that the government doesn't control or regulate. Well, they couldn't come up with anything. One person said sleep. You know how I responded? Not true. There's a warning label on your mattress. Every time you lay down on everything, even what you lay down on has some sort of stamp of government control. Okay, where else are we at? Let me, okay. We're going to, 5 minutes here, I'll switch these cameras here, and we'll get the whole thing of Jesse recorded. What do we got? Let me do this. We got a recording. We're recording. We're rolling here, and I don't want to reveal too much more from the book until I get Jesse up here. Now we're going to be talking about the New Project for the New American Century, PNAC. And the founders were neocons, William Crystal, Robert Kagan. From the get-go, they were pushing for regime change in Iraq. Project New American Century, Dov Zakheim helped write that. Creating tomorrow's dominant force. Pursuing a two-stage strategy for transforming the conventional forces and exploiting the revolution in military affairs. The Pentagon must be driven by the enduring missions for U.S. forces. Enduring missions for the U.S. forces. This process will have two stages. Transition, featuring a mix of current and new systems, and true transformation, featuring new systems, organization, and operational concept. FBI knowledge of terrorist training at flight schools, and a little bit of more deception being put on here. Bin Laden determined to strike U.S. This is all happening after Bin Laden was supposedly dead. We'll get some more information. And Pentagon's stand-down orders on 9/11 about air piracy. All of the documentation is here. But we still got deceptions. You're putting out information to point the finger at Muslims when it may be a lot different than that. Sorry about that. Okay. "32 minutes. 2 more minutes. Stay with me, folks. Stay with me. We'll get this up. Yeah, I'm just going to take a quick call from you. Who are you, the 801?
This is Tom Clay. My computer gave me problems and I couldn't get to you. You spoke to me last week about talking about this poisoning issue with the manufactured housing industry and the
yeah, I've got you scheduled, Tom. I believe I've got you on my schedule here.
But
I will be talking to you on Wednesday, June 8th.
okay, Wednesday, June 8th. In
Yes,
the
sir.
meantime, encourage everybody to go to that website, license2kill.us. I just I had a friend encourage me. So I linked up a video of a judges conference, and if you watch that, it'll turn your stomach. See how these
Okay,
judges
I will do that.
are
Let me just license to kill
.us.
Okay, I've got that now. I changed it. I had the story up. I had a link on, but I'll change it. I gotta go. I got Jesse Ventura coming up, sir. So I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much. You can stay on listen on here if you'd like. I just have to mute the microphone. Okay. Okay, mute the microphone. Okay, get that done. We got 30 minutes.
Hello.
Hello, Jesse.
Yeah. I found out they sent me an amended schedule at 7 a.m. It was nice of them to call, huh?
Yeah, I was kind of upset about that too. It was 4 o'clock in the morning here when I got the phone number for you. So
yeah, anyway, it's on this amended schedule that came as of this morning at 7 a.m., which I didn't see. It's got you down, Clay, from 9:30 to 10, so let's fire away.
All right, sir. I've already talked about your books. We've given links. You've had interviews done on mainstream by people I would call a little less than sympathetic or understanding, or professional assholes. But I got a couple of things I want to deal with. First of all, let me tell you, I published the Free American magazine for about since 1994. I also started the militias back before Oklahoma City, after what happened at Waco, and I did it in my governor's office, Governor Gary Johnson down in New Mexico. I've been demonized ever since, Jesse, as a conspiracy theorist, as a right-wing extremist, as a homegrown terrorist, and
well, how do you have a radio show then?
Well, because let's see, in 25 years.
Saying it laughingly, if you're all of those things, how can they let you on the air?
Well, they never seem.
It seems to me Homeland Security ought to have some law in place to stop you.
They say it would seem like that, except I can walk into the FBI office, drop a bundle of magazines on, and turn around and walk back out. And I tell the truth. I tell the truth. And
well,
how are you?
For the interview?
Yes, sir. How are you doing? Is your show? After one of your shows, suddenly we couldn't pick it up here anymore. Is it still operating?
Yeah, one of the shows has been censored. One of the shows was only allowed to show one time, and then the upper echelon above True TV decided that that show wouldn't be aired anymore, and that now they won't even acknowledge that we did it.
Which one was that?
That was the police state one, the one that dealt with the internment camps.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the show. Apparently, none of the other shows rankled the government as bad as that one did.
Even when you exposed the Federal Reserve?
No, we had no other problems on the show except that show. That show and that show alone is the only one that they've given us trouble on. Other than I had a minor one doing